Hello fellow followers and welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have for you, in celebration of Scream Factory's 10-year anniversary, I decided to share with you guys some of my Scream Factory Blu-ray and 4K releases. Now this is not all of them. This is a few I picked off the shelf for you guys. I wanted to share with you guys, and I just wanted to say congratulations to Scream Factory for 10 years of so many great titles, so many great titles I've gotten, so many great titles I want, still want, and so many great titles I may never get because they went out of print. But here's to many, many more years, and I want to say thank you so very much for these titles I'm about to show off, and I hope I can continue to get so many more, and it's so awesome to be able to have some of these titles that I have. With all that being said, let's get to these titles. Let's start off first with the first two releases that Scream Factory ever did 10 years ago. That would be Halloween 2 and Halloween 3. Don't want to get the glare there. This is not the actual, because this is a steelbook. It was released in a Blu-ray like this, Halloween 2 was, but these were their first two releases, and they came out swinging. If you guys want to see here, I'll show you my steelbook real quick. Look at that. That is beautiful. I love it. And I love their steelbooks that they can put out like this. And here's the back of it. I don't know if you can see that very well. I don't want to get a glare. There you go. That's Jamie Lee Curtis there. And this is really cool to have this Blu-ray steelbook. And then let's show you a little bit of Halloween 3. Look at that. Tom Atkins. What's a freaking badass, man. Getting laid, getting the chicks, drinking beer, just having a good time. And I know some people do not like Halloween 3, but over the years it's gained a bit of a following and has come back around to so many people actually enjoying this movie. And I'm glad I got it. Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. I love this. This movie is so great, so crazy, so fun. And it was so great that, Scream Factory has released these two as their first titles. I'm trying not to get so much glare for you guys because I know my light's right there. But yeah, these are awesome. These are awesome. I love these. I'm glad to have these. And of course, we do know that, they have moved on into 4K. Then I'm going to show you some 4Ks here in a minute, but I'm going to start with this 4K since it goes right along with those two. But Halloween 1, the original 1978 John Carpenter classic. I've loved this film since I saw it. It's just one of those awesome films, one of the classics that I tend to love to watch around spooky season. Sadly, I have not been able to get all of these on 4K yet. I'm hoping to eventually too, but this is really cool. I just love this movie, and I'm so glad that Shout Factory has moved on into 4K, and some of the 4K movies that they've given are just outstanding, and this is great. Halloween, you usually cannot go wrong with the Halloween movie, especially in October. So there you have that. That was really cool. I love that. And let's move on to one of these titles here. This is Blu-ray. I actually got this one, The Crush, starring Alicia Silverstone, because I remember as a kid thinking Alicia Silverstone was really super hot in this movie. And, I had not seen it in a long time. It's a 90s horror type movie. And it stars Carrie Ells from Princess Bride as well. This movie is a lot more creepier in today's day and age than I remembered it being, because it's basically about this young girl who has a crush on an older man, and she goes a little crazy and stuff. And it's actually supposedly based on the writer-director's an event that happened to him when, because as an up-and-coming writer, he was staying at his place, and supposedly the young teenage daughter was hitting on him, and he actually used her name in this. I believe, what was it originally called? Maybe, was it Darian was her original name, or Adrian? I can't remember her original name. The original name of Alicia Silverstone's character was the actual name of the girl that that it's based off of, and her parents sued him in the film, so the name was changed, and so only the original VHS, I believe, and the original trailer contained the actual name they used. About every other cut afterwards has the new name that other character is. And oh man, I don't know, a little creepier watching this. I mean, maybe that plays well with the movie today. Maybe it's that's the creepier aspect of it, but The Crush, starring Alicia Silverstone. Next, this is a double feature that I really was glad to get. It's at one of the Shout Scream Factory's exclusive website releases, and I was really glad to get this. Stripped to Kill and Final Judgment. This is a great little set of movies here. Brad Dourif as a pistol-packing priest. That sold me right there. And Stripped to Kill, I have an affinity for the TNA and movies, and it's a Roger Corman classic. So I love this. I was really glad to be able to get this from Scream Factory double feature, one of their newer releases. And it's just so many great movies, out that they have. And these two are really, really great movies. I highly recommend Final Judgment. That movie just took me by surprise. It was such a great movie to see this. It's about a murderer killing these women that he paints, and Brad Dourif is this priest who was once a troubled kid. You know, he got in trouble, went to prison, jail, and then he became a priest, and now he's investigating this murder. And it's just a really fun movie. And of course, Strip to Kill. If you're looking to see a bunch of just strip scene after strip scene after strip scene, that there you go. And it's a murder investigation as well too. So check that out if you guys want to. These are only have 1,500 copies. They may still have some, but they're limited to run. So if you want to get on them, get on them. This one here, I absolutely love because I love Barbara Crampton, and she gives an amazing performance in From Beyond. Humans are such easy prey. This is a H.P. Lovecraft story. Stuart Gordon, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton. This movie is just wild. It's crazy. It was done after Reanimator. It was supposed to be. It's taken more serious than Reanimator because Reanimator is a little bit of a horror comedy, but Barbara Crampton gives us brilliant performance from like this very stuffy doctor who takes Jeffrey Combs in because he's like, he helped this doctor unleash the other side, very H. Lovecraftian, and he's kind of, they think he's a little crazy, and so she takes him and tries to take him back to the house where everything happened, and this sexual stuff starts to happen, and it's just crazy. You got to see this movie. It's hard to explain, but I love this movie. This is such a great movie, and I'm so happy that Shout Factory, Scream Factory released this, and I'm really glad to have this one in my collection right next to my Reanimator, all three Reanimator movies. This is great. If you've not seen this, I recommend it. Pick it up. It will not disappoint. Next three movies I call the Night Of movies because I love in the 80s where they had all these Night Of type movies, horror movies. They were great. And this one is The Night of the Comet, starring Catherine Mary Stewart and Kelly Maroney. I love this movie. This is sort of a Christmas movie as well too, so it can play in Halloween and Christmas. The end of the world basically happens, and it's these last two girls with Uzis and killing zombies and kicking ass, and it's just a fun 80s horror movie. I just had a blast watching this. I love it. And Catherine Mary Stewart, Kelly Maroney, freaking hot. Just a great movie, great set here. I love this. And of course, I'm not showing them, but a lot of these come with reversible artwork. So you can change them out and, have the reversible artwork. But there's that. This contains so much great stuff here. And I love all the special features that Scream and Shout Factory do for these. I'm so glad to have this. And this is the first Night Of, starting with Night of the Comet. Then we'll move on to Night of the Demons. Oh, this is such a great movie. This actually takes place on Halloween night in like a haunted house. Angela is throwing a party, and Freddy and Jason's not invited because they're too scared to come. This is so great. Leanna Quigley's in this. If you're looking for a movie with Halloween demons, sort of like Evil Dead-esque boobs, lots of boobs. You can't go wrong with this. This is a great 80s flick. It's really scary. It's just, I cannot gush about this movie enough. This movie is a great one. And, look at that, Leanna Quigley. And Angela here is awesome. Awesome. It's such a great flick, and I'm so glad Scream Factory put this out. I'm so glad to have this one. This one is really, really great. Like I said, I love these Night Of movies, and man, Angela is creepy. The demons are creepy. It's just a story about these kids go into this like abandoned haunted house type thing, and they unleash the demons, and they start possessing them, and things get crazy. And this is a great October Halloween watch. I highly recommend it. If you want to watch it during Halloween, check it out. So let's go on to the final Night Of title that I got for you guys, and that would be Night of the Creeps. I got good news for you, ladies. Your date's here. The bad news is they're dead. Thrill me. Tom Atkins, in one of his brilliant performances. According to him, this is one of his favorite movies he's ever done. I love this movie. It's basically about these like alien snake like worm slither type things come down, and they start getting inside people, and they turn them into zombies. And Tom Atkins is this like the cop, because it starts off in the 50s, because I love like 80s and 50s. It's like got that B-movie horror sci-fi type movie vibe to it from the 50s and the 80s. Starts off in the 50s. It happens, the alien thing, the slug things come down, gets into a guy, and Tom Atkins is a cop, young cop at that time, and he thinks he kills the guy, but apparently they put the guy on ice, so it moves into the 80s, and in the 80s he kind of gets unthawed, and all this slug things start going on to everybody in this college campus and these kids, and they get hooked up with Tom Atkins to help investigate, and it's such just a great fun movie. And this contains both the original theatrical cut and the director's cut, and this is one I actually got to slip with, which I was really happy to get to slip with. And then the original artwork on the inside there that I flipped around, have the slip cover as well. This movie is awesome. I love this movie. This is probably my favorite of the night of movies I have. But I also, I don't try not to play favorites because I really love all these movies. It's hard for me to pick favorites. It really is. But there's the final Night of the Creeps. This is such a great movie. Oh, and Fred Decker directed this for Monster Squad. And there's a little nod to the Monster Squad in this movie because this was made before the Monster Squad. So check that out. This is well worth it. Well worth it. Next, how about a little Robert Englund in Phantom of the Opera. This is one of my favorite Phantom of the Opera adaptations. It stars Jill Schuling as well, because Jill Schuling she's a great underrated scream queen that I don't think a lot of people talk about. And this movie is just creepy. The cover on this always scared me, so I never really rented it as a kid and so I saw it many years later, and I absolutely love this. Robert Englund gives this brilliant performance. It's creepy, it's scary, it's in vein with the Phantom of the Opera. It's a much more darker, more Jack the Ripper-esque type movie. They really went back to like the novel, listening to the special features on this, where it was a little more darker, and it's from the director of Halloween 4, because I love Halloween 4. I think that's an underrated one as well too. But this is really great. Jill Schuling plays this great character. It starts off in the 80s, and she's Jill Schuling is auditioning for this play, and she kind of gets bumped on the head and with like this mirror breaking stuff, and she's sort of sent back into time to the what am I thinking of? Like, we're the hoity-toity British people and stuff, and the Phantom is there. It's a story. It gets creepy, and it's just a really great performances all around from everybody in this, and I love this movie. This is such a great movie, and if you've not ever seen this, or if you've ever thought about seeing this, highly recommend. Well, I highly recommend all these. Just know I highly recommend all of them. So check out Robert Englund's Phantom of the Opera. So let's move into a little bit of a more 90s horror again with Chris Sarandon in The Resurrected, H.P. Lovecraft story. This movie I absolutely loved. I had never seen this before till just recently, because I saw it on Screen Factories, and I bought it, and I'm so glad I did. It's basically the story of Charles Dexter Ward. He's become, his wife is hired this detective because he's become weird. He's strange. He's reclusive. He's left her. She doesn't know what's wrong with him. He found something out about his ancestor who happens to look exactly like him, and it deals with like the sort of like reanimator stuff, death and life, and it's just one of the more serious H.P. Lovecraft takes, and I loved it. It's creepy, it's spooky, it's 90s, it's awesome, and I am so freaking glad I got this movie, because Chris Sarandon delivers, and just everybody in this movie delivers. It's such a great underrated 90s H.P. Lovecraft film. If you've not seen this, get this movie. It is awesome. Finally, I'm going to show you 3 other 4Ks that I got. I'm just going to run through these real quick for you guys. But very underrated John Carpenter flick. I know I keep saying underrated a lot, but Prince of Darkness in 4K. This is such a great flick right here. Like I said, I think it's underrated, and it's really creepy, really scary, and it gets really good. And it's something that I think deserves a watch. And I was so cool to see the 4K transfer. I know it's been transferred in 4K before, but this is a really great one. Donald Pleasance, John Carpenter. You can't go wrong. You can't beat this. Check that one out. And then we'll move on from that one into 2 recent ones, and that would be Child's Play and The Fog. I absolutely love this. Jamie Lee Curtis, Brad Dourif as Chucky. These movies are awesome. Oh my gosh, the 4K transfers on these are magnificent and beautiful, and I just love these, and I'm so glad that I'm starting to get stuff like this from Scream Factory on 4K. Some of my favorites, more of the mainstream ones, that I just absolutely love, and I cannot wait to see what else they have coming down the pipe. Maybe we'll one day get that Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set. What do you think, Scream Factory, Shout Factory? Let us know all that. And once again, truly, thank you for all these great releases, all these great titles, all these great movies. Here's to many more years to come. And if you guys want to get any of these titles, like I said, I'll put a link down below. And they are having a Shocktober sale right now, where you can get tons of these movies for really great deals. They're really cheap right now. So go over there and check out that Shocktober sale. Pick you up some of these that I listed. Pick you up some ones that you want, some ones you've never heard of or seen of before, because it's a great time to be a physical media collector, and it's a great time to be a Scream Factory fan. So check them out. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments section down below. Do you have any of these? What are some of your favorite Scream Factory releases? Let me know this in the comments section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, please consider liking, subscribing, hitting that bell for notifications, joining and becoming a channel member. Make sure you share this video out for everybody to see. Wherever you guys are, please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Thank you for watching. Always support physical media. It is a superior format. Godspeed.